Today I want to talk about hypothyroidism. That's something that definitely has affected me, and not a lot of people actually know what it is, what it's all about, what it can do, and how it can make you, both physically and emotionally. So I wanted to talk about that subject. So when I first found out that I had that, I'd actually had it for like 2 years before, and it just wasn't picked up, or I don't know, my doctor didn't tell me, which, like, great, thanks. So I found out in a random blood test, because at that time I wanted to make sure that I had enough vitamin D. So I was testing my blood just really randomly. So they said, yeah, your vitamin D is fine, because I started taking new vitamins, because I take those every day. Well, hope, as much as I can remember every day anyway. But I'm pretty up to date with those. But then they said, no, your thyroid, it's not producing enough hormones. So I had no idea what that was, what that meant, and how that effect was going to take place. So I went back and googled it, and I thought, okay, well, I can handle that, that's okay. So I started having regular blood tests, and they started messing around with some medication, and eventually now, about a year and a half on, I'm on the right dose, apparently. But before that, I'm just one of those people that don't take hormone very well. So taking tablets that have hormone in to increase my hormones just did not work. And also, I'm very weight conscious, so body conscious, so that didn't work either, because I found out that with hypothyroidism you have an increased risk of gaining weight. So that played on my mental health a lot, and obviously I've been dealing with this hip dysplasia thing, so it was already kind of a thing, a big issue. So yeah, it was a lot. So the medication started kicking in, and basically it was like mood swings, uncontrollable crying, basically like being like 3 months pregnant, or 0 to 3 months pregnant. And that's kind of what it was like for like a year and a half, and it was horrible. I kind of said to my family, like, please excuse me, it's the tablet, it's not me. And of course they were really supportive, so, and they kind of, anytime I have that, I still have bouts where I'm a bit sad, or I'm crying for no reason, and they just kind of put it down to the tablet. So I'm really glad to have the kind of support I do. I'm really lucky in that sense. But yeah, you do have days where you don't really want to, it's like being in depression, you don't really want to get out of bed, and then being a parent, that's a bit tricky. And with the exercise, there's really limited exercise I can actually do. So whereas before I used to exercise a lot, particularly after having my kids, and there were so many things that were dropping, like I can't like doing walking exercises, I can't do running exercises, so there's just so many things, like lunges I can't do now, squats I can't do now because it just hurts too much. So yeah, the two conditions I have just unfortunately do not work well together. So yeah, it's a struggle to kind of get that going, working well together. But I'm as I said, I'm quite weight conscious, so I've always not really overeat, and I kind of just stick to the same routine. If I find something that works, I just stick to that. So yeah, if anyone else is going through the same thing or has gone through the same thing, please write in the comments. I'd love to find out what your experiences are. That'd be really interesting to me, because it's like you feel like you're on your own. You do. You feel like you're just on your own, like no one else understands. Particularly being a woman, it's just heightens everything. So yeah, I actually found out something really interesting when I was going for my blood test one day. Well, one of them. I've had so many now. The nurse that was doing my blood test, she said that 50 to 60 years ago, the thyroid wasn't even known, and they had like mental institutions to put people into that were like hyper or very low, or kind of what they like class as crazy back in those days. And someone for some reason did a test and found this thyroid thing that no one knew about, and they started testing it, and then they did like blood tests on people, and they realised that I guess it was overcapacity, all these mental institutes. So they started doing tests on people, and if they came out okay, then they can go. If not, then they had to stay. But 98% of people that came out of this one institute at that point had hypothyroidism. So they weren't mental, they were just not producing enough hormone in their body. So that just kind of shows you like how much it really does affect you. I mean, there's so many. If you Google how like the side effects you can get of having hypothyroidism, like the symptoms, there's so many. It's just crazy. But I think I have my fair share of the available symptoms, but I don't have all of them, so I'm quite lucky, I guess. So yeah, guys, that's my hypothyroidism. That's where I'm at now. But I couldn't believe that I actually found out 2 years after it was actually diagnosed. I was really angry, to say the least. My doctors, it was only because I happened to change doctors and then do that random blood test that's how it was found. But I was so mad. But I was quite lucky though, because it was in those 2 years. I say lucky, not really, but I was super stressed because I had a lot happening in my personal life. So I was quite like really highly stressed and under pressure anyway. So I guess that kind of lost me my appetite, started losing me a lot of weight. Anyway, but I had that while that was all happening. So I think if I hadn't have had so much stress and was losing weight and everything like that, then I possibly would have gained a load and not even realised, because a lot of people that have this condition can just gain 1, 2, 3 stone and just really not know why. So yeah, I'm quite lucky like that. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please comment, and I would love to hear any feedback. That would be really good. And please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. That would be absolutely amazing. I want to get to know you guys. I want to chat regularly. Let's build a community. I believe there's so many people in the same situation without even knowing about it. So yeah, I think that would be good. So I'm gonna go now, guys, but have a good evening, and I'll speak to you on the next video.